Let's dive right in because one of the biggest myths about weight loss is that your body is working against you. Most people believe that if they're carrying extra weight, the only solution is to eat less, exercise more, and rely on willpower every single day. But modern research is revealing something very different. Your body actually has built-in systems designed to help regulate metabolism, control blood sugar, and even burn excess fat. The key is knowing how to activate those systems using the foods you eat every day. One of my favorite examples is the tomato. Now, most people don't think of tomatoes as a metabolism food. They think of tomatoes as something you put in a salad, slice onto a sandwich, or cook into a pasta sauce. But tomatoes contain a natural compound called lycopene. Lycopene is what gives tomatoes their rich red color, and it turns out that this compound does far more than make food look appealing. Researchers have been studying lycopene for years because of its effects on metabolism and inflammation. What's fascinating is that lycopene appears to interact with the body's fat-burning mechanisms in a very unique way. Instead of simply providing calories, it acts like a biological signal. It helps encourage your body to use energy more efficiently and supports healthier metabolic activity. Here's something even more interesting. When tomatoes are gently cooked, the lycopene becomes easier for your body to absorb. This is one reason why traditional Mediterranean diets often include cooked tomato sauces. The heat changes the structure of the lycopene, making it more available to the body. So if you're looking for a simple food to add to your routine, tomatoes are a great place to start. Fresh tomatoes are excellent, but cooked tomatoes can be even more powerful. Now let's move on to another remarkable food, pomegranates. Pomegranates have been prized for thousands of years. Ancient cultures viewed them as symbols of health and vitality, and modern science is beginning to understand why. Inside pomegranates are natural compounds called polyphenols and elagitanins. These compounds don't just work inside the fruit itself, they interact with the bacteria living inside your digestive system. Your gut microbiome contains trillions of microorganisms. Some of these bacteria help regulate inflammation, support digestion, and influence metabolism. When beneficial bacteria thrive, your body tends to function more efficiently. Research suggests that compounds in pomegranates help support the growth of beneficial gut bacteria. These microbes produce substances that communicate with your immune system, influence blood sugar regulation, and help maintain a healthy digestive environment. What's exciting is that we're learning more every year about the connection between gut health and body weight. The healthier your microbiome becomes, the more effectively your body can manage many of the processes involved in metabolism. If you enjoy pomegranates, try eating the whole seeds whenever possible. That way, you're getting not only the beneficial compounds, but also the fiber that supports digestive health. Speaking of fiber, let's talk about kiwi. Kiwi may be one of the most underrated fruits in the grocery store. It's small, affordable, and incredibly nutrient-dense. One kiwi contains an impressive amount of vitamin C, a nutrient that plays a major role in immune function and inflammation control. Chronic inflammation is something many people struggle with without even realizing it. It can affect energy levels, recovery, and overall health. Vitamin C helps support the body's natural defense systems, and kiwi happens to be one of the richest fruit sources available. But that's only part of the story. Kiwi also contains fiber that helps nourish beneficial gut bacteria. In fact, studies have shown that dietary changes can begin influencing the microbiome surprisingly quickly. The foods you eat today can start affecting your gut environment within a very short period of time. That's powerful when you think about it. Every meal becomes an opportunity to support healthier biological systems. Now let's talk about one of my favorite beverages, matcha. Most people are familiar with green tea. Green tea has been consumed for centuries and is associated with numerous health benefits, but matcha takes things one step further. Instead of steeping tea leaves and throwing them away, matcha uses the entire leaf ground into a fine powder. That means you're consuming everything the leaf has to offer. Matcha is packed with plant compounds called catechins. These natural compounds have attracted enormous scientific interest because of their antioxidant properties and their relationship with metabolic health. Antioxidants help protect cells from oxidative stress. Over time, oxidative stress can contribute to inflammation and many of the challenges associated with aging. What makes matcha unique is that you're getting a concentrated source of these beneficial compounds in every serving. Many people also appreciate the calm, focused energy matcha provides. Unlike the rapid spikes and crashes sometimes associated with other caffeinated beverages, matcha contains compounds that help create a smoother experience. Finally, let's talk about something that surprises almost everyone: dark chocolate. Yes, chocolate. But not just any chocolate. The key is choosing dark chocolate with a high cacao content. Cacao comes from a plant and it's loaded with beneficial polyphenols. These compounds support blood vessel function, circulation, and overall cardiovascular health. The higher the cacao percentage, the more of these beneficial compounds you're likely to find. That's why many nutrition experts recommend choosing dark chocolate with a cacao content of 70% or higher. Now, this doesn't mean eating an entire chocolate bar every day. Moderation still matters. But a small serving of high-quality dark chocolate can absolutely be part of a healthy lifestyle. When you step back and look at all these foods, tomatoes, pomegranates, kiwi, matcha, and dark chocolate, you begin to see a pattern. None of them are exotic. None of them require expensive supplements. None of them demand extreme diets. They're simply everyday foods that contain powerful natural compounds capable of supporting the systems your body already has. And that's the real lesson here. Health isn't always about finding something new. Sometimes it's about understanding the extraordinary power hidden inside foods that have been sitting in front of us all along. Now, here's something I want you to think about for a moment. Most people spend years searching for the perfect diet. They jump from one trend to another. One month it's low carb, the next month it's high protein, then it's intermittent fasting, detox drinks, or expensive supplements advertised by influencers online. But what if the real secret isn't finding a new diet? What if it's understanding how your body is designed to work in the first place? The human body is incredibly intelligent. Every second of every day, billions of cells are communicating with one another. Hormones are being released, energy is being produced, damaged cells are being repaired. Your immune system is constantly monitoring for threats, and all of these systems are influenced by what you eat. Let's talk about another food that deserves far more attention than it gets: coffee. Now, coffee is one of the most widely consumed beverages in the world. Millions of people start their morning with a cup of coffee. For many, it's simply part of their routine. But coffee is much more than caffeine. Inside coffee are hundreds of natural plant compounds, including powerful polyphenols. These compounds have been studied extensively for their effects on metabolism, inflammation, and cardiovascular health. One of the reasons researchers are interested in coffee is because it appears to help support metabolic activity. In moderation, coffee may help improve alertness, enhance physical performance, and support healthy energy regulation. But here's the important part. The benefits aren't coming from loading your coffee with sugar, flavored syrups, and whipped cream. They're coming from the coffee itself. When you keep it simple, you're allowing those naturally occurring compounds to do their job. Now let's pair coffee with something that might surprise you: nuts. Almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and pecans are nutritional powerhouses. They contain healthy fats, plant protein, minerals, and fiber. For years, people avoided nuts because they were afraid of the calorie content. But modern research has completely changed the conversation. Scientists have found that nuts can actually support weight management when eaten as part of a balanced diet. One reason is because they help increase feelings of fullness. Another is because they provide nutrients that support stable energy levels throughout the day. Think about it. When you're satisfied after a meal, you're less likely to reach for processed snacks an hour later. That's one of the reasons whole foods are so powerful. They work with your biology instead of against it. Now let's move to something many people overlook entirely: beans. Beans may not sound exciting, but they are one of the healthiest foods on the planet. Black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils, these foods are packed with fiber and plant-based nutrients. Fiber is incredibly important because it slows digestion, supports blood sugar balance, and feeds beneficial gut bacteria. In many parts of the world where people live exceptionally long lives, beans are a daily staple. That's not a coincidence. They're affordable, filling, nutritious, and remarkably versatile. And here's something fascinating. When beneficial bacteria digest certain types of fiber found in beans, they produce compounds called short-chain fatty acids. These compounds help support gut health, immune function, and metabolic balance. In other words, you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding the trillions of microbes that help keep you healthy. Now, let's talk about one food that often gets misunderstood: Avocados. Some people avoid avocados because they contain fat, but not all fats are created equal. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, the same category of healthy fats found in olive oil. These fats help support heart health and can be part of a healthy eating pattern. Avocados also contain fiber, potassium, and a variety of beneficial plant compounds. One of the reasons people enjoy avocados is because they help create a sense of satisfaction after eating. And satisfaction matters. If every meal leaves you feeling deprived, it's very difficult to maintain healthy habits long term. This is why I always encourage people to focus on adding healthy foods instead of constantly focusing on restriction. The more nutritious foods you include, the less room there is for heavily processed foods that don't support your goals. Now let's discuss something that's often missing from health conversations: consistency. Many people look for dramatic results. They want to transform their health in a week, but biology doesn't work that way. Your body responds to what you do repeatedly. One healthy meal won't change your life. One unhealthy meal won't ruin it either. What matters is the pattern. The choices you make day after day eventually become your lifestyle, and your lifestyle shapes your health. That's why small habits are so powerful. A serving of berries with breakfast, a tomato-based dish with dinner, a kiwi as an afternoon snack, a cup of green tea, a handful of nuts. These choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, they add up. The body notices, your gut microbiome notices, your metabolism notices, your cardiovascular system notices, and perhaps most importantly, you begin creating a foundation that supports long-term health rather than short-term results. At the end of the day, there is no single miracle food. No single ingredient can compensate for poor habits across every area of life. But what science continues to show us is that certain foods contain remarkable natural compounds capable of supporting the body's own healing and protective systems. That's what makes nutrition so exciting. You're not forcing your body to do something unnatural. You're giving it the tools it was designed to use. And when you consistently provide those tools, something amazing happens. Your body starts doing what it was built to do all along. It becomes more resilient, more efficient, more balanced, and healthier from the inside out. That's the real power of food. Not quick fixes, not magic pills, but everyday choices that help your body perform at its very best.